All right, the first weapon, it was obviously what? Trumpet to blow. Now, maybe that doesn't sound real strange to you, but it does to me. A trumpet. What are you going to waltz or something when you get into battle? What good is a trumpet going to do you? No offense, And so I began to study what a trumpet was used for and the significance of it in the Old Testament. Now, in battle, it was used because they didn't have an intercom, so they would blow trumpet, blah, meant charge the hill, and blah, 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 probably meant charge the hill 3 times. I don't know. It beats me. But, the trumpet was used to signal, but it was used for something else. Very interesting. A trumpet was used in the Old Testament to announce someone being raised from the dead. That's a big deal. Someone being raised from the dead, which was not uncommon in the Old Testament. A trumpet was a herald of somebody being raised from the dead. So when God sent trumpets into that battle, I think he was saying to us, trait number 1 of people who want to be captured by God, God uses once buried people. Once buried people. We have a generation, a church world that talks a lot about grace, and I believe in grace. I need grace. I give grace. You couldn't stand youth ministry if you didn't. But the issue is that unfortunately I hear so much about grace, but not near enough where it says, if any man come after Christ, let him pick up his cross and deny himself and follow him. Whoever would find his life has to lose it. Whoever really loses his life will find it, And so God uses once buried people. Everybody in the room who says you're a Christ follower, you need some tombstones, invisible perhaps, way before you actually get buried. Some tombstones that say, I have an action. I take walks sometimes. Aldine Park, when I lived here, was my place. I'd take these walks where I'd make fake little tombstones, and I'd say, I hereby die to my right to whatever. And I'd put on a little stick and plop it somewhere. I die to my right to my own time. I die to my right to be appreciated. I die to my right to figure out whatever it was. See, the bottom line is, if you really want to be captured by God, the trumpet's going to have to blow over your life often. And it doesn't make you a martyr. It's not like you're some unhappy, unfulfilled person, because, again, God will be no man or woman's debtor. I've said it a million times. And so it is. I go back, those of you that were a part of our era when we were here in Rockford heard me tell this story a million times. One of my favorite out-of-Bible heroes was a martyred missionary, Jim Elliot. He gave his life for the Aka Indians and in Ecuador. He went in, the Akas were cannibals. He finally went in to present the gospel to them, and hours later, they sent the plane in, realizing that he was floating face down. Him and his counterparts had spears run through them, and they were floating dead in pools of their own blood there in the Ecuadorian rivers. Betty Elliott, who's now, I believe, with the Lord, was his wife. And when she came home briefly to America before she went back to Ecuador, a young reporter was interviewing her for a Christian periodical, and he said, tell me how you processed it, Mrs. Elliott, when your husband was killed so brutally, there doing missionary work. And she said, Jim Elliott was not killed in the jungles of Ecuador. Jim Elliott died to Jim Elliott. When years before, as a college student in Bible school, he wrote in his prayer journal, blood is of no value unless it flows before the altar of the living God. I'm expendable. Spend me any way you wish. And then the next line that's become the signature I've claimed to. He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose. Now, to some of you, that's a trite comment. But to some of you, that's a life expression. Hey, is it easy all the time? Nothing worth anything is easy all the time. Matter of fact, nothing that's easy all the time is even any fun. He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose. Has the trumpet blown over your life? And does it blow over your life pretty regularly?